Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Podcast 101. Today we have Trupthi Raghu, doing masters in Waterloo University and also a QA analyst. So welcome to the Tech Podcast, Trupthi. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm also good. So how is Canada?
So it was supposed to be really cold this winter, but it's not weirdly. It's sunny, which is nice. I'm getting used to the weather. Okay, so this might sound weird. I was actually on my way to become a doctor. I had all my seat ready. I had my college ready, but last moment I just completely changed my whole decision and joined engineering. You can say that it was quite what do you say, willingly I did it at the last moment, and I'm glad I did that, or I made that choice. And given that I got into a very good college, made it even easier, and I didn't get a chance to regret my decision so far. So it wasn't forceful, but it was a last minute decision that I made.
Yeah, so actually we are same. Like I also wanted to be a doctor and then I chose engineering. So yeah, I made we both made good decision I guess, picking engineering.
Yeah, very good.
So, like in engineering, why did you wanted to join computer science or IT related?
So I come from a family of engineers. Here, everyone is engineer, and I have this huge set of expectations that needed to fill in. And most of the people who are like good guides in my life kind of directed me towards computer science and the IT industry, knowing that I would be having someone to always look up to in these two domains. Kind of actually added some kind of confidence. And also, I was really interested to explore the new technologies that were popping up and get to know how's and what's in that domain. So, probably those two reasons were the main reasons that I had to choose the IT field or the computer science field.
Yeah, that's great, Trupti. So, like, can you go through your 4 years of engineering? How was your 4 years? First year, second year, third year, and final year. A brief about it.
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. I think the first year I was mostly focusing on, I'll finish my engineering, I'll get a job in a very good company, and I'll lead my life. So my first year's goal was that. And as and when I progressed towards the second year, I got introduced to a lot of clubs in my college, which kind of opened a lot of doors to me. So it changed my perspective on, you are doing engineering. It's so the job shouldn't be your last goal or last resort. So there are a lot of other things that you can do. And I did get introduced to a research writing workshop where it it kind of changed everything for me. I started doing research with my lecturers on the topics that I had not heard before, and they were really sweet and helpful during that phase. I opened up a research group for cybersecurity because that was something that was going around very well known during that time. So once I started my research on cybersecurity, I got to know there's a lot more that you can do rather than just landing yourself a job. There's a lot of difference that engineers can make in our day-to-day life, solving real-time problems. So second year was more of like exploring all of such domains and kind of feeling where I was placed correctly in. And the third year, probably my luckiest year, I was looking up for internships. And the technology that kind of struck me during that time was mixed reality, augmented reality, and virtual reality. It was in a lot of talks, and I was kind of curious on how things work there. So I joined so many groups on LinkedIn and other social media platforms that would help me guide through these domains. And fortunately, my ex organization CEO reached out to me like, hey, do you want to do an internship? I see you in all the groups. Probably he did think that I was stalking everyone from that domain. But anyways, I got an offer there and I started my mixed reality journey from my third year, and it got extended till fourth year. So I did 1 year of internship. And in addition to that, my third and fourth year was entirely dedicated to guide students. So I was taking up Python classes as a part of, we had this learning
Peer
factory
tutoring.
class that, where yes, peer tutoring. So all of the students from different departments would come up and start learning stuff about our department. So our department was trying to teach Python programming. So I was a major part of that as well. So it kind of helped me to also get the good foundations about coding before I took up the internship. And third year was fantastic, but the fourth year the pressure got to me because we had final year projects coming up. We had so many deadlines to cover, but the lecturers were so sweet at the same time. But yeah, I did skip a few deadlines, which was fine, but I didn't lose huge amount of marks there, and I completed my internship, did my project, a final year project, which went really great. And yeah, it was great. At the end of the entire journey, it was kind of rewarding because I also got that best student achiever award that the college used to give for outgoing students, is for each and every department. So it's been hell lot of a journey, but it was rewarding. It was amazing. I wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world.
Yeah, from thinking of doing medical, then joining first year and guiding students to getting
Yes.
outstanding award is such an inspiration, Trupti.
Yes, yes. Looking back, I don't think I would have thought about everything during my first year, but I'm glad I started exploring during my second year.
Yeah. So like you said clubs, you did join clubs. So how did clubs help you in getting internship or writing research papers and all? And how many clubs did you join? And
Yes, so it
yeah,
yeah, so it did indirectly affect me into getting into an internship and writing my research paper, because I think I had joined around 5 clubs. One being the Wing Research Club, where it was the main club where I got introduced to research and paper writing skills. So the going to one of the event that was conducted by Wing Research was not my choice. My friend pulled me up to that event on one fine day. You get to miss classes, you get a chance, like, you say that you are attending an event, so the lecturers would let you go. So that was my main reason why I went up to that event. But oh my God, I'm glad I did that, because the lecturer who took the event was Dr. Gururaj sir. He was amazing. He kind of inspired me a lot. So that was my first club interaction that happened. And it kind of pumped me, like, this club was so good. Let me explore others. So I reached out to the clubs that were under my department. So we had a We Code club, where we taught coding in normal languages, so people would understand and grasp it easily rather than completely technical. So I reached out to them, and the club was again relaunched, and we were the founding members of that year. And it went well. We took C++, Python workshops, and under that club. And there were other clubs. The other two were extracurricular clubs, where it was dancing and public speaking. So those two added a lot to my career. It wasn't only about having technical skills, but the communication plays a major role when you are trying to navigate through your engineering or through your workspace. So that really helped me a lot. And the final club was the club that me and my classmates worked on as part of our department. So it did kind of take off. We did organize events and played ourselves as a resource person for those events, which was eventful, which was a great experience. I got to collaborate with an amazing team. So it did play a very important role because it taught me things that the textbook didn't teach me. So the textbook was completely theoretical. So you did get knowledge on the tech world, but on the real world, if you are doing hands-on work, there are a set of skills that you need to know, and the clubs really kind of push me through those skills and help me to get all those skills handy.
Yeah, that's great. So joining club and communities will always help us. Like we should also know like communication skills also with tech skills, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So when the next question is when did you join for internship? In which year and how was your internship experience?
So I started my internship during my third year of engineering. Again, had to go through like getting a lot of permissions on whether I could attend the internship or not. But thankfully, it was COVID year. We were all in the house. We were all free. So I got to do full time internship because even the internship was online. The classes were online, so I was able to juggle between those two really easily. And the internship experience, although it came as a shock because a person directly reached out like you would want to do an internship, and it was completely new and I didn't know what would happen, and I didn't have any previous work experience. So I gave it a good try and it went really well because the experience that I got through internship helped me land a full-time role in that organization itself. So I got introduced to the technology that they were working on, that was mixed reality. And I was fortunate enough since I started working out in a startup. So the internship that I got offered from, it was a startup company. And in startup, you have a lot of pressure and a lot of tasks to complete. But on the brighter side, you get to experience a variety of role at the very beginning of your career. So it kind of helped me to understand how the entire organization works, and it helped me climb my ladders really fast. So I was an intern, I was a team lead, I was a developer, and then I even became a project manager
Tester.
during that. Yeah, like 3 years of time, everything. I had a good opportunity to play every role in the organization. So having said that, I got involved in so many good projects. I worked on Microsoft related projects because even they were new to the mixed reality domain. So I worked with them. And I was also like a contributor to the book that was published as a part of our organization. It is called as Beginning Your Mixed Reality Development. So it is available on Amazon and it got published, which is nice. And we also won the state award for the product that we were working on and I was involved in. So a lot of amazing experiences. It wasn't like a normal paperwork. So when you talk about internship, the first thing that comes up to your mind, oh, they're just going to get coffees from you. So you just have to like go grab coffees and give it to your other colleagues. So I was prepared for that. I was like, okay, let's just get some coffees, get my internship certificate. But on the contrary, I got to do a lot of things. I got to put my name on a lot of things because my name was there on the Microsoft official website. I was doing my engineering, learning about Microsoft products, and it was already there. So it was amazing. I don't know how I landed that opportunity, but good that I stalked a few people on LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, not other platforms. So it went well. It was amazing.
Yeah. Like you said LinkedIn helped you. Like how did you
Yes.
go through the LinkedIn and what is the main point about LinkedIn? How did it help you?
So the main point about LinkedIn was the community because you got access to all types of technology and all people who are working with those technologies. You just have to find the right group. And once you find the right group, like I found my interest in mixed reality, it kind of helped me to get to know people from that domain, understand what they were going through, whether it was easy, whether it was tough, whether I could do it. So it helped me to understand whether it's the right domain for me. And when I joined a lot of groups, there are so many communities inside the LinkedIn. For example, there is mixed reality for beginners, and there is XR innovators. So all of such groups are present, where people post some random contents, random articles, and what they are working on, how you can incorporate a new feature in your application. So it really opened up a lot of options in that. It's not only about the domain, it's a parts of the domain that you can choose from. So once I started to get myself involved in those groups, I didn't stop there. I did text a few people and asking, you're doing amazing job. How do I get myself acknowledged with it? So is there a way wherein I can explore this, or is there a way wherein I can work on this? So I got a lot of good pointers and advices from them. And I started working on myself, and probably reaching out to people from those groups really helped me a lot. I've made amazing connections in that phase, and people are still in contact with me. If they're writing any research paper, they come and consult. And if they're working on an application, they come and consult. So it's like a back and forth process, but it's very important to get your connections right, find your middle ground, and find a good group of people that you could really work with.
Yeah. So like how many messages did you do per day, or is it any count? Or like for whom did you do, like is there any point?
Okay, so I think
How did you
people might
search?
get a very
Yeah.
wrong yeah, people might get a very wrong idea of me, because I think I've passed some hundreds and 150s of messages to everyone on LinkedIn, just trying to build my connections. And yeah, I didn't constrain myself on the roles. Even if the people were beginners, I texted them. I asked them, like, how you got into this domain. Till the CEO of the company, I have texted probably all the roles possible. And even for the CEO, I did ask, like, what made him dive into this technology, and what is he thinking, what are his future aspects. So the questions that I asked to each and every one of them were kind of different, but it gave me a lot of different perspectives to the domain. So I think that is really important when you are looking to connect with people. It's important to get your perspectives right, as well as filter out all the advices. It's not compulsory that you take in everything that people throw at you. It's just taking what works for you and what is good for you. So yeah, I did text a lot of people, and thankfully everyone replied. Maybe it was COVID, everyone were bored, so probably they replied, but now they aren't replying. So it's fine, it's fine. It's just you have to try.
Like basically you got job from LinkedIn indirectly.
Yes, I would say that one.
Yeah, networking is important.
Yeah, it's the key. Even irrespective of where you're working, even I'm working in Canada, the networking got me a job here as well. So the job that I'm working here, the LinkedIn again helped me. It was such a matchmaker. It's really helpful. So I got my job through LinkedIn again, even in Canada. But the dynamics of how you get yourself into a job is the same everywhere in all parts of the globe.
Yeah. So next, coming to your University of Waterloo journey, like we have so many questions from viewers also. Yeah, like how did you join? What is the preparation? If you can brief about it.
Yes, so it was kind of my dream to come and pursue my higher studies somewhere apart from my country. Although I did my undergrad, which was fantastic, it gave me all the foundation that I needed. I wanted to upskill myself and explore my opportunities in other parts of the world. And I love traveling. So it was a win win situation. And my first choice of country was Canada. And once I was good with the country, I knew how things worked in the country. Later, I started looking for universities. And let me tell you very honestly, University of Waterloo was such a long shot, because it's considered as MIT of Canada. It is a really, really hard university to get in. And I was kind of having second thoughts, should I apply? Should I not apply? Because I had 5 universities in my mind that I wanted to apply to. So Waterloo was still one of them, but it was my fifth choice because I knew for sure that I might not get into it. But anyway, my family kind of pushed me, and they really helped me to understand that it's good giving it a shot. You will know for sure whether it worked or not, rather than having a regret later on whether, oh, I should have applied to it. So yeah, I started my application process. I applied for 3 universities at the beginning. One was University of Windsor, University of Guelph, and University of Waterloo. So I got my acceptance from Windsor first, but the place the university is situated in is kind of really far away from all the working spaces and all the hub, like how Bangalore is the hub for Karnataka. Likewise, Toronto is the hub for all the kinds of IT world or IT things. So it was kind of really far. So I had not accepted the offer. But thankfully, the next week I got the acceptance letter from Waterloo. I was on cloud nine. I was like, no way I got in. It was good because the program that I got in, even that was a very competitive program because it gave me an opportunity to work and study side by side. So not lot of master program provide you that with that opportunity. So I got in the same program, and the next week I got another acceptance letter from Guelph. So I finally made up a decision to go with Waterloo. And again, another very good decision that I made. And the application process was considerably easy. So you had to write an SOP on how focused are you into getting into this university, and what are all the things that you have done in past. So that is where all of my club works, all of my academics, and all of the things that I did in my undergrad came into use. So I gave a very solid SOP combining everything. And you should get a letter of recommendations from your lecturers as well. So you can pick out from which lecturers you would get those. I chose my final year project guide as one of the lecturer, and the other one was obviously Dr. Gururaj sir. I owe a lot to him, and those people gave me amazing recommendations, and it was also huge part of my acceptance. So it is not only making connections with other people in the world, but also make good connections with your lecturers, because times like this is really where you need to reach out to them, get help from them. So it really helped me there as well. And once the application process was over, it was kind of like the normal, the visa and how you come here, how you stay here. So it was my entire journey. It was a bit of roller coaster, but I'm so glad that I took up the journey and also applied to the university thinking that I wouldn't get in. So it was a win-win for me.
Yeah. So I have some couple of questions about this only. So you said letter of recommendation. Is there any format
Yes.
given by Waterloo, or you have prepared by yourself?
No, actually, it is different from each university you apply to. So, the Waterloo, what happened was they give you a form similar to Google form, wherein you need to type your answers, like how well was the student behaving, or is there any scenario where the student excelled. So, all of those questions, the form will be passed to your lecturers, and the lecturers had to fill that form. So as a student, it is your job to make an idea of what kind of questions there will be asked in the form, and you can come up with a draft content. So as a student, you can answer all those questions from your perspective and provide that draft content to your lecturers who are going to fill the form. So in that way, it will give them a solid ground on what needs to be put into those questions, because you cannot take chances on getting or have any kind of miscommunication, because it is a one time shot. They won't be passing the LORs again. So it is really good if you could provide a draft content for each of those questions, and the lecturers can take things forward.
Okay. So there was some format or form for LOM.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. So is self preparation is enough, or should we take any tuitions or something like that?
Okay, so since Canada was my first choice for doing my master's, it didn't have an option of writing a GRE. So it was kind of optional. You could write it or you couldn't write it because all of the universities in Canada don't mandatorily ask for your GRE scores. So I didn't prepare for that exam. However, there was an English exam that I had to take on a mandatory basis, that is IELTS. So for that, I didn't join any classes, but when you sign up for that exam, you get a practice handbook from the authorities themselves. So the practice handbook is a consolidated version of all of the previous question papers and along with the answers, as well as extra practice questions for you to work on. So that is the only kind of preparations I did for myself. And other than that, the SOP LOR was pretty much done by myself without any kind of preparations. But again, it depends on the country of your choice. If you are selecting Canada, there is no GRE requirement. But again, if you're planning to do your masters in US or the States, GRE is required. And for that, I have seen my friends preparing a lot, joining classes. So there are online websites where it provides really good classes. So I have my friends who were working on it, they got good scores, and now they are in the States doing their masters.
Yeah. So why did you prefer Canada over US?
Okay, so this is more of like a comfort question for me because I had a part of my family already in Canada. So I had really good guides already in Canada who would kind of help me to understand or try to give me good pointers on how to navigate through the new country, because going to a new country could be really straining emotionally and you need to have some kind of support there. So in that way, I chose my comfort country where my family was already residing, a part of my family, and it really helped me to have that emotional support and moral support. But yeah, if work calls me to the US, I'm always open to going to the US. So it would be great. It would be great exploring other places as well.
Yeah. So if a student is wanted to join 2025 fall batch, so when he should or she should start preparing for.
So 2025 fall, so probably he should have started by now because given that visa takes a lot of time, you need to get your acceptance letters as soon as possible so that you would not break your head over getting a visa, because I did the same exact thing. I delayed my application process, and although I got my acceptance letters, it was only a matter of 3 months wherein I could get my visa and come to this country. It was really such a time crunch. It took a huge emotional toll on me. I would think of all the negative scenarios, like what if I don't get a visa? What if I don't get? So it was all of the what ifs, what ifs. So if he wants to go in 2025 fall, he should have started by now. Probably at least looking out for universities, because I'm sure the applications are already open by now for very well-known universities. So you could give it a try by applying, starting your application process, and then probably think of your visa, and also it will give you a good timeline in which you can apply and kind of have a relaxing journey throughout.
Yeah. So before applying or before preparing for GRE, like what should student have, like internships or resume? What should be the resume and research projects? What do you recommend?
Yes. So having some kind of work experience, like internship, would give you a very glowing SOP. That is the statement of purpose that you would want to apply to an university, because people in abroad look for your all kinds of, like, an all-rounder skills. It's not only about the technical knowledge you have; it's about the hands-on experience also you have. So having work experience will be a huge plus point. And in addition to that, they pay a lot of attention to your extracurricular activities, like being a part of club or leading a team, or even working on your self projects. So that is the main four things that would put yourself completely different or unique from the other set of people. So I would highly recommend to have some kind of work experience. Although I did my internship, I had a full-time work experience of over 1.5 years. So that also kind of added things, or added fresh perspective to my SOP, because I could show that I have the real world skills, I have the technical skills. Now I want to enhance it. So in that way, they would have this idea that this person will be able to carry through the entire journey, whether he has to work in an internship or perform well in an academic. So it is just how you present yourself in a holistic view, rather than focusing on getting good grades. Make sure you do other stuff that really matters and get your hands dirty, probably do a few good projects that you can really put on your resume, as well as your SOP.
Yeah, that's great advice, Trupti. So the next question is, how many research papers are necessary or good to have before applying to university?
So there is not exactly like a number that you would filter it out, but I worked on one of my research paper, one book, and one for the Microsoft project that I was working on. So the research paper I wrote on was on cybersecurity. The book that I wrote on was mixed reality, and the project that I worked with Microsoft was how to incorporate mixed reality in real case scenarios. So I didn't constrain myself to a domain. So probably that was a plus point. I had got myself acknowledged to various domains, which really helped me to present it in a very vivid manner. So probably having one good solid research paper and two or more projects could really put you through or make you different. But again, if you really want to pursue more in writing research papers, there is no such good number. You could get in with one or many. So it is a choice of you and at your comfort as well.
So quality over quantity.
Yeah.
So the next thing is like, what was the exam cutoff, GRE or IELTS cutoff of University of Waterloo when you came, and what was your marks?
Okay, so the we don't exactly call it as cutoff here. We call it as acceptance rate. So for the university that I am studying, the acceptance rate was around 15 to 20% of the entire set of applications that they receive, which is kind of low. I mean, I'm not really sure about the right numbers, but it is low. And if you want to make that cut, again, you have to be different in all the ways possible.
Yeah. So you topped that also. Like really, I think from you were thinking of going to medical field, and then you joined engineering and joining top universities in the world, Waterloo. Like, how do you feel now?
I feel great. It's, as I mentioned before, it's been an amazing journey. And all throughout the journey, I have had this opportunity to gain skills and knowledge on different aspects of life, not only technology, because being a part of organization, being a part of team, and being a part of this academic institution has really led me to understand and work through the dynamics of my life in general. So it's been really nice. So I have made a few good decisions probably for me to land here. And it's okay if you make a few bad ones. It will be a part of your experience. And yeah, it has been absolutely great.
Yeah, that is great, Trupti. So, how is your current experience as a QA analyst? So, how is mixed reality engineering field role is helping you in QA analyst?
So again, I feel like a fresher working as a QA analyst now, because my experience entirely lied in the mixed reality domain back in the days. But now that I have been introduced to a new domain, I am exploring everything again from the beginning, and it's interesting because me being curious about each and everything, and getting to know stuff on different domains kind of helped me to take up this opportunity and work towards it. And again, as I'm working as a QA analyst, I try not to lose touch on what I've done previously, although I have gained a lot of new knowledge regarding to the job and regarding to the techs and softwares that they are dealing with. It's always a good additional point. And one of the main thing that I would probably take away from my whole experience of shifting from mixed reality to QA was the connections that I get to make. It will be huge. It will be a different variant to my previous connections that will kind of help me to navigate through both of the domains. So in that way, would not constrain, because, for example, as I was working as a QA analyst, I get to attend to a lot of events that are being thrown a part of an organization. And one such events was how Meta, that is former Facebook company, could collaborate with the company that I am working with and bring all the AR, VR, MR solutions to the banking industry. So that was a really good bridge about how I could take things forward. So yeah, there are a few instances in my current experience that are linked to my previous experience. In that way, it is really soothing for me as well, because I would come up with new fresh perspective to the team rather than constraining myself to whatever experiences that I had before.
Yeah, that's great, Trupti. Like linking with your previous experience, you are doing great things now. Yeah. So the next question.
Yes, I
Yeah.
got a whole new world to explore now.
Yeah. So the next question is the one piece of advice you want to give to freshers or your juniors.
Yes. Okay. My go-to advice that I was a part of this leadership group in my organization, and I had this amazing opportunity of attending one of their events where all the huge CEOs from different organizations in and around Toronto gathered, and the advice that I got from them was be a sponge, absorb everything, all the opportunities that is thrown in your way. That kind of stuck to me, and I would probably give the same advice to my juniors and the freshers who are starting out their journey in the IT world. So be a sponge, soak up all the opportunities that are probably thrown at your way, even though if you're not comfortable, even though it does not match with your plan, it does match with your plan somehow. For example, I am this living example of changing my career from being in a mixed reality domain for so many years to a QA analyst. On the contrary, it kind of helped me, opened up a lot of new doors. So saying yes to all the opportunities that are thrown at your way is a blessing in disguise, I would like to say. So just be a sponge, get through everything, because it will be rewarding at any point of your life. It won't be a waste. Thank you so much for having me on this podcast. I wish you all the best, and I hope this podcast reach greater heights. And I love what you're doing. It's amazing that you are bringing people from the tech industry together to share experiences. I think the freshers and people who are just starting out would really get a lot of help from what you're doing. So I'm amazed. You're doing great jobs already. Probably it will be really good on your resume, your work, your SOP. So I wish you all the best.